Welcome back to all of you to today's class. Today in this class we are going to read last unit 5th of the chapter Nightingale and the Rose. Okay. So in the previous class we have read that the nightingale did construct the rose out of its music by moonlit night. Nightingale कौन करथिला तार म्यूजिक रे तार गीत रे जह्नर आलुओ से गोलाप फूल तैयारी करथिला. But at the end what happened? The nightingale died because the thorn passed into her heart and the live blood of the nightingale became the blood of the rose plant. Okay. So शेषे कौन होइथिला से नाइटिंगेल डेथ होइथिला मृत्यु होइथिला काहेकि ना से गोलाप गछर कंटा तार पूरा हार्ट रे ता हृदय भीतर को जाइथिला जोथि पई कि नाइटिंगेल रो बॉडी रो ब्लड बाहर को आसिकी से गोलाप गछर ब्लड हे गला एंड से जो गोलाप फूलटी थिला सेटा कंप्लीटली रेड कलर हे गला. दैट्स व्हाई द नाइटिंगेल डिड लॉस्ट इट्स लाइफ. सो you must be watching movies, you must have listened a number of fairy tales माने परी राज्यर कहानी भी सुनिथिबो मूवी देखिथिबो. At the end is mentioned and normally it is mentioned and they lived happily even after. That is a punchline which is being given in most of the movies. So here do you think that all the stories are having happy ending? जे सब जाक कहानी रो परिसमाप्ति अंत कोन खुशी खुशी रे हुए ना सेमती किछि नै. So here it is mentioned all fairy tales and with the expression and they lived happily even after. And read the following unit of the story and mark how the story comes to an end. But here in this chapter it is mentioned how this story ended. A story ro ending re kon hechi. Listen, we know that the nightingale sacrificed her life in order to give a simple red rose to the boy. से पुओटी के गोटे रेड रोज दबापाई नाइटिंगेल कौन कला तार कंप्लीटली जीवन को से हारिदेला. द नाइटिंगेल एक्सेप्टेड डेथ इन ऑर्डर टू गिव द बॉय ए रेड रोज. नाउ द बॉय मस्ट बी हैप्पी बिकॉज राइट नाउ ही कैन डांस विथ हिज लेडी लव. एंड एट नून द स्टूडेंट ओपन हिज विंडो एंड लुक्ड आउट एट नून. नून मीन्स व्हाट मध्याह्न समय रे. ओके. सो एट नून द बॉय ओपन द सो द नाइट पास्ट द डे केम. सकाळ हेकी खराबेल हो गला. सो मध्याह्न समय से पिलाटी कौन कला तार झरका खोलिकी बाहर को चाहिला. वाई व्हाट ए वंडरफुल पीस ऑफ लक. एंड द बॉय वाज सरप्राइज्ड. एंड व्हाट्स द रीजन ऑफ हिज सरप्राइजनेस? बिकॉज द प्रीवियस डे ही वाज सर्चिंग फॉर ए रेड रोज बट ही वाज नॉट गेटिंग. बट टुडे ही कैन फाइंड द मोस्ट ब्यूटीफुल रोज in his garden. He cried, "Here is a red rose. I have never seen any rose like it in all my life." And here the boy is giving the compliment that throughout his lifetime he has never ever seen a rose like that. जेता completely जीवन भितरे से एते सुंदर नाली रंगर गोलाप केबे भी देखी नहीं. थोड़ी ना से बॉय जानी जे दिस रोज इज बीइंग स्टेन्ड बीइंग कलरफुल बाय द नाइटिंगेल्स हार्ट्स ब्लड. It is so beautiful that I am sure it has a long Latin name. And now the boy is thinking that this rose is so beautiful. A golap ete sundar heichi je eita mane local golap nuho. It must be having a long Latin name. Long gote Latin language ro gote means gote particular name is being given to that particular rose. And lean down. Lean down means what? To bend down. Jhunki padiba. Because se to jharka khol dela na. Jharka khole kemti jhunki ke then he plucked the rose. And leaned down and plucked it. So knowing कि से कौन कला फूलटी को छिंडे देला. Then he put on his hat. Then it was the noon time and the boy was well dressed. So put on his hat. तारा टोपी. Here hat means is not that cap. Hat means that round shaped. Okay. तापरे से पुड़ी कौन कला तारा टोपी पिंधिला and ran up to the professor's house with the rose in his hand. And by holding the red rose in his hand, he started running to the professor's house. से गोलाप फूलटी हाथ में धरिकी से कोठी के दौड़ी दौड़ी गला प्रोफेसर्स हाउस को धरी गला. प्रोफेसर्स हाउस वाई द गर्ल विथ हुम ही वाज इन लव वाज द प्रोफेसर्स डॉक्टर. तार प्रोफेसर झील होचंदी से दैट सेम गर्ल विथ हुम द बॉय वाज इन लव. सो से कौन कला ना से बाय होल्डिंग द रेड रोज इन हिज हैंड ही स्टार्टेड रनिंग टू द प्रोफेसर्स हाउस. द डॉटर ऑफ द प्रोफेसर वाज सिटिंग इन द डोरवे winding blue silk on a rail. And what was the professor's daughter doing? She was just sitting outside of the house and winding blue silk. Rail re sutta gudeva janicho na. So likewise that girl was whining gudautila, okay, blue silk in a reel, and a little dog was laying at her feet, and this girl was also having a small dog, and the dog was laying at her feet. Ta pada pakhare tar posa kukuroti soithila. You said that you dance with me if I brought you red rose, cried the student, and the student was extremely happy because it was able to get the red rose. So happily he was speaking to the girl, you will dance with me, तुमे मो सहित नाच करिवो. And why? Because you had set the condition that if I am able to bring a red rose for you, then only you are going to dance with me. जे this time the boy is speaking, से पोटी कहूचे तुमे कहिथिलो जदि मो नाली रंगर गोलापटी आनिबी ताहले तुमे मो सहित नाचिबो. So this is the red rose. Here is the reddest rose in all the world, and the boy is speaking. Not only the red rose, this is the reddest rose, means superlative degree, means only one in the world. Okay, so complete Vishwara, complete Prithivira, sabudu nali rangar golap phuloti hochi eta. Right now I don't have the rose. Okay, so emti kahiki se nali golap ti ko deichundi. And you will wear it tonight next to your heart. It is mentioned, you will wear it tonight. It means what? That girl was going to wear that red rose. It is mentioned next to her heart. Doesn't mean that she will wear the red rose in her heart. No. She will definitely wear it in her bun or whatever the hairstyle might be. Tara mundare tara kesare se nishchay lageba. But that rose will be quite close to her heart. Kintu se golap phuloti tar hridayar pakhe rahibo, means she will take utmost care of that red rose because that red rose was special and it was being given by that boy. And as we dance together, it will tell you how I love you. And now the boy is speaking, and when we dance together, ame jetebele misiki nachiba, at that time this red rose will describe you. Listen, here actually the red rose can't speak, common thing. So what is mentioned here, this boy has also means what we say personified, so hyperbole is also used, and it is mentioned that this red rose will speak you. Au e nali golapoti तुमको कहिबो जे मु तुमको केतिकी भल पाउछि. But the girl frowned. Frown means what? This is frowning. Okay, but the girl said like this. Frowning means to exhibit some displeasure by facial expression. जेमती आमे कहबा मुह मोड़िबा एमती करबा. Okay, these things are known as frowning. I am afraid it will not go with my dress. And what is the girl speaking? I am afraid. मु भय करूछि जे this red rose will not go with my dress. जैसे कौन कहछि मते लागुछि ए red rose टी मो ड्रेस से तो मैचिंग हमनी. Who is speaking? This girl is speaking. And besides, the Chamberlain's nephew had sent me some real jewels. So this Chamberlain's nephew another character in this story, and he has sent me some real jewels. और से मते किछि real jewels पठेइछंती. And everybody knows that jewels cost far more than flowers, and it is known to everyone. और समस्ते जानिछंती जे फूल अपेक्षा jewel रो cost बहुत अधिक. So right now here think the mentality of this girl. Previously according to the boy, listen, एटी कोठी girl रो voice रो हमें सुनिने जे I will dance with you. All these things are being spoken by this boy only. That this girl will dance with him if he is able to bring a red rose for her. Okay, so according to the boy, that girl had put the condition that if he is able to bring a red rose for her, then only she is going to dance with him. जदि से पुओटी तापई गोटे नाली रंगर गोलाप आणुछि ताहले से तांको सहित नाच करिवो. But right now this girl's opinion is completely changed. Right now she is giving more importance and more emphasis to the real jewelry instead of the roses and all other things. And well, upon my word, you are very ungrateful. Who is speaking? The boy is speaking. Really? So when the boy did hear this, he was terrible. He started means reacting heavily and spoke that, upon my words, mo katha anujai, according to me, you are very ungrateful. Means grateful, opposite word is ungrateful. कृतज्ञ. Okay, means जे कि गोटे कथा कहइबो से काम करिवोनी आउ गोटे किछि काम करिवो. Said the student angrily. से पूरा रागिकी. That student did speak it quite angrily, and he threw the rose into the street. Then what did he do with the red rose? He was holding the red rose and suddenly, take the example, red rose, suddenly he did through the red rose. से कौन कला से रेड रोज टी को नाली गोलाप टी को धरी थिला फोपाड़ी देला किए से स्टूडेंट टी where it fell into the gutter आ से फूलटी जे कोठी पड़ला gutter. Gutter means what? Road side रे जो drain जाइथिबो that is gutter. But listen one thing, here one thing I am telling you, it is mentioned fell into the gutter. से कहछि gutter भितरे पड़िला and a cart wheel went over it. Out a cart wheel गोटे सगडरे चक. It is not mentioned car, it is mentioned cart. Okay, cart wheel run went over it. आ से गोलाप फूल ऊपर दे गोटे सगडरे चक गड़ी गला. It means गटर भितरे पड़ नथिबो गोलाप फूलटी गटर ऊपर पड़थिबो जस्ट रोड साइड रे पड़थिबो गटर ऊपर बुझी परलो. सो ता एमती भी हेथै पारे जे ड्रेनेज नथिबो जस्ट रोड साइड रे एमती ही पानी जाउथबो जेमती विलेजेस मान करे जाय. ओके, सो से ऊपर दे कि कोन हैला ना गोटे सगडरे चक से गोलाप फूल ऊपर चढ़ी के चली गला. नाउ थिंक व्हाट इज द वैल्यू ऑफ द सैक्रिफाइस ऑफ द नाइटिंगेल? नथिंग, जस्ट ए बिग जीरो. And ungrateful, said the girl. I tell you something, you are very rude. And after all, who are you? Then the girl is speaking. What? Ungrateful. Who is ungrateful? By the way, who are you? Tume kiye? Who is speaking? The girl is speaking to the boy. Only a student. Tu gode kebale chhatra re, tu gode student ti, aw kichhi no tu. Why, I don't believe you have even got silver buckles to your shoe. Silver buckle means silver color strap, the thing which is being used to close or to open a shoe. Okay, mane shoe re straps na thai jemti ki that one will be means pasted or we have to give the buckles. Okay, so it is a jhoti kochi. I am afraid even you don't have the silver buckles to your shoes as the chamberlain's nephew has. As a chamberlain nephew तांको भणेजा जेती जेमती सिल्वर बकल्स अछि तांको सुरे तोर तो सेतिकी भी नथिबो. So you don't have any value. Here remember this girl is giving too much emphasis to the materialistic pursuit. Okay, material pleasure को से importance दोछि. And she got up from her chair and went into the house. Then what did the girl do? She was sitting on the chair. By winding the reel, suddenly she stand and entered into the house. घर भीतर को से उठ के चली गला. What a silly thing love is, said the student as he walked away. तापर से पुओ कौन कला? Return पळे आसिला. And while coming he is speaking. What a silly thing that love is. भलो पाइबा लव हो गोटे silly thing, गोटे फालतू जिंस. It is not half as useful as logic. Logic means what? तर्क शास्त्र. And again he is speaking that तर्क शास्त्र जेतिकी useful जीवन पाई love is not that much of useful. Who is speaking? This boy is speaking. Means right now the boy is speaking that love is valueless after the sacrifice of the nightingale. For it does not prove anything and it always telling one of the things that are not going to happen. And once again he is speaking that love is not going to prove anything. At the same time it will speak you something which is not going to happen. एटा तुमको से कथा कहबो जोटा कि केबे हेले हबनी. Who is speaking? This boy is speaking. Sometimes we are also dreaming lots of things. Whenever people are in love, wonderful things happen. Okay, so the same thing is also mentioned here that this boy is speaking that it will speak you those things that will never ever happen. तमे जिते बेले भल पाउछ काहाकू तम आखे अगरे और you will imagine such things which will not happen in real life. जोटा कि real life रे केबे भी हबन. And this is true. And making one believe things that are not true. At the same time, whenever you are in love, you will fly in the sky. You will feel as if you have the wings. Buji parlo? Be careful. And in fact, it is quite unpractical. Love is not a practical thing. It has nothing to do with the real life. It is quite unpractical. It has no value. Means according to this boy is speaking that love is nowhere related to real life. And it's in this age, to be practical is everything. And what is the boy speaking? Our a boy, sorry. In this age, to be practical is everything. Practical होई के रहिबाटा ही सब किछि. के कहूछि? This boy is speaking to himself. Type of soliloquy. Okay. I shall go back to philosophy. Then he is speaking, I shall go back to philosophy. Mu darshana shastra ko authore jibi, means he will study the philosophy and study metaphysics, and I will go to philosophy and will study metaphysics. Metaphysics means what? Any fundamental principles. Here metaphysical poetry is also there. In metaphysical poetry, what has happened? Means scientific things are being described in such a way as if it is related to a platonic world, means spiritual world, means real life incidents को नहीं कि ताको means supernatural or something spiritual को oven करे जाए, means type करे जाए. But listen, here philosophy, what is metaphysics, this type of questions are not going to be there in your examination. It is only given to you, it is given as a subject. Okay, so it is mentioned, I shall go back to philosophy. मो philosophy को फेरी जीबी and study metaphysics. आउ मो metaphysics पढ़ी. Okay, with this, so he returned to his room. So what did the boy do? He just returned to his room and pulled out a great dusty book. आउ तार गोटे बुक सेल्फ रू गोटे बुक बाहर कला which was quite dusty, जोटा कि धूली रे भर्ती होइतिला, and began to read, and he started reading. Understand it? So here remember one thing. What is the boy doing finally? Finally the boy is coming back to the real life, to the practical life, and he is also focusing on study. But because of the attitude of the boy, the innocent nightingale did lose the life. Even the boy who was speaking that this is the most beautiful rose in the garden, still he also didn't preserve the red rose, even when it is not taken by that girl. So jodi nonela pore madhya this boy didn't protect that red rose. Okay, so finally the sacrifice of the nightingale was completely valueless. It was ruined. Only the innocent nightingale lost its life. Okay, understood? So with this, listen, actually in this chapter the theme is the sorrow and suffering of a nightingale. In every phase of life, the nightingale is being tortured either physically or listen, here mentally also you can speak, because the nightingale is able to understand the language of human beings. Okay, so the nightingale was in puzzle, the nightingale was in pain, the nightingale wanted to help the people, but in turn only the nightingale is being punished. Okay, understood? So with this, your nightingale and the rose is over. All of you have a nice time.